Man, what is happening, my YouTube family? Of course, it is your boy B New. I'm coming at you on this Wednesday. And first and foremost, as always, want to send out positive vibrations and blessings to anybody who could be listening. Now, with all that being said, we all know that the Lakers had a couple of games that took place. And my apologies for not having any post-game videos or pregame videos for the past two games where the Lakers took on the Cleveland Cavaliers as well as the Utah Jazz in back-to-back games on Sunday and Monday. My schedule just would not allow for me to do so. I could do a little bit of recapping on that game, but I'm just going to make this a very broad generalization because, of course, all eyes have been on the Lakers as far as the NBA talks of trade rumors with that of maybe Anthony Davis being put on the trading block. There's been some murmurs of that. People talking about a potential trade for Anthony Davis, for KD straight up. Just to be totally honest with everybody, I don't think any of this is going to happen. The only trade that I can see happening for the Lakers this year is somehow Russell Westbrook trade yielding a Buddy Hield or a Miles Turner, and maybe just, maybe a Miles Turner without that of Buddy Hield, or that of Buddy Hield without Miles Turner, without the Lakers giving up the draft picks that they want to hold on to so preciously. But who knows? They say they have some other things brewing, but at the end of the day, you can only focus on what you have. And to me, I think the Lakers, even though at times they've been blown out, especially by the Utah teams, that the Lakers have been close in about every game up until maybe the third or the fourth quarter, or they fight their way back into games. But, they beat a couple of teams so far this year, and that's it. They beat a Denver Nuggets team, which is a pretty good team, even though we all know what it came down to, a miracle shot by that of Matt Ryan. But, just to kind of focus on the Lakers' struggles, I made the last show we talked about was, I talked about benching LeBron James just because his foot has not been looking good. And I said it before the bad outing that he had on Sunday against Cleveland, that LeBron James just doesn't look right. LeBron James, he's not always been the greatest three-point or jump shooter, but at the end of the day, since 2018, he has had a very nice jump shot, and his percentages will back that up. But he just hasn't had the lift, and I think it is because of that foot. You could tell those fadeaway jump shots are not there. You could tell that the three-point shots are flat, even when he took that long logo three-point shot, which he has actually made a few of those. So it's not out of the realm of possibility, but it was not even close. It was so short. So I just feel like, and the main thing that's telling to me is he is not getting to the basket. He's not, getting around his man and putting pressure on the defense. And that's why right now Russell Westbrook actually has the best, I won't say plus minus, but, as far as the most positive on the floor with all others, including Anthony Davis, because Russell Westbrook is actually getting downhill and LeBron James is not being aggressive when he's going downhill, especially in pick and roll situations. At least Russell Westbrook, he's getting downhill, forcing defenses to make a decision, throwing some nice alley-oops to Anthony Davis. We haven't seen that from LeBron because I think his foot is not allowing him to get that leverage that he needs to go ahead and push off on that foot and use his speed to get around defenders. I don't think it's just an age thing. I can definitely tell that it's something going on with that foot, like I alluded to before. And I said the only way he's going to heal from that is to sit out a few weeks, or maybe at least 2 weeks. But he just said on yesterday, I believe, that he can't sit out. He just has to play through the pain. So we do know that LeBron James will be playing tonight against the Clippers. Kawhi Leonard is still out. He is managing to take the past, 5 or 6 games off. The Clippers can still manage to stay above water. And that gives you a very good idea, just like, the Clippers took on that same Cleveland Cavs team on Sunday, or no, on Monday, because, they played the Lakers on Sunday. So it was the second night of the back-to-back. And, of course, the Clippers went out and did their thing, even though it was Cleveland's second night of a back-to-back. But, they was down most of that game, and they came back and ended up winning that game. And it was a good performance from Paul George. But you had 6 Clippers players that was in double digits, and that's what the Lakers need to be able to do. But, still the Lakers, I don't want to count them dead in the water yet because they still don't have their full roster available to them. I think Dennis Schroeder could be a big help to them as far as what he's capable of doing, defending, 94 feet, on the court, because that's just what kind of person he is when he's defending. And also he's a capable three-point shooter. And we all know that he played with the Lakers before, and now he wants to redeem himself because he passed up that big contract. And Russell Westbrook has been playing off the bench as of late pretty good. So, the Lakers, I think, still can play well. Anthony Davis needs to establish himself in the second half and stop disappearing. But more importantly, LeBron hopefully is part of that. Illness is part of it too, because he had been sick, and went around. Then Pat Bev was sick, and then Lonnie Walker was sick. Not sure if Lonnie Walker will be playing tonight. If you know if Lonnie Walker's playing tonight, put that down in the comments below. Let everybody else know. I couldn't find anything where they said. I know they said he was questionable, so usually that means that he's going to be out. They didn't say doubtful, so questionable. He could play, he couldn't play. It's a toss-up. See how he feels, if he wants to give it a go. If he was feeling like how Pat Bevan and LeBron and them was feeling, he might not give it a go at all. But, Kendrick Nunn finally started to play a little bit well against the Jazz Monday night, but ultimately took a lot of bad shots, especially down the course of the game, at the end of the game, and when they was already technically getting blown out. We do know it's the second night of the back-to-back, but I'm telling you what, that Utah team is looking outstanding. That Lauri Markkanen is looking good. Joey Clarkson is looking good. Mike Conley, and pretty much what happened in that game is the Lakers was getting killed on pick and roll because, they use the drop back coverage that Darvin Ham really likes to use on pick and roll defense. Instead of having the big play up, he has the big do drop back coverage. And then you got a team like Utah, instead of the big rolling to the basket, you got a big who can stop out 17 feet and pick and pop. And that leaves them wide open because you got the big sagging off. So then if the big does try to come out to contest on the pick and popper, then you have cutters. And Mike Conley was taking advantage of that all day long when you had people that were just cutting to the lane. Even LeBron was getting caught slipping a lot. As far as the cutters, you one man, one eye on the ball, one eye on your man, trying to play in between, maybe trying to get back over. If they kick it over to a three-point shot, boom, your man cuts. You don't react in time, easy basket. And that's something that Mike Conley is very capable of. I thought the Lakers could have really used somebody like a Mike Conley in the begin with, a real point guard who can actually facilitate an offense. But to truth be told, if it wasn't for LeBron James and his foot, I think he would be well suited just playing the point for the Lakers. Because we all know when LeBron James did play point, he did lead the league in assists. But this is not the same LeBron James because he's shooting terrible this year. He's shooting 40%, which is unlike him. But, he has dealt with the sickness and the foot injury. Let's just hope tonight he can come out and actually put some pressure on the defense and get downhill, because the only points that I've noticed LeBron being able to score has pretty much been transition baskets. When, it's been turnovers and he got a full head of steam and he get going, he's still going to be hard to stop, foot or no foot. But you can still tell that he's not all the way where he needs to be. So, Pat Bev will be back tonight. The Lakers missed him on defense the other night, I think, against Utah. I think, even that Cleveland Cavaliers game, the Lakers were up by 6 going into the third quarter. And I just knew, okay, in this third quarter, how are they going to come out? But I will say this, the way that game was refereed, I don't want to make any complaints, but, Donovan Mitchell, you could barely touch the guy. He was getting calls and ones. I want to say that Donovan Mitchell and Darius Garland, had, 17, 18 free throw attempts in the first half. And Utah shot damn near 40. And Cleveland shot damn near 40 free throws that game. So the Lakers need to learn how to defend better without fouling. But also the refs were not swallowing the whistle at all. And you didn't necessarily see it on the same thing with LeBron James. And that's why after the game, I could tell from the press conference, and we're talking about after the Cleveland game, LeBron was very frustrated. And they was asking him questions like, what can you say to the young guys? What can you do to make them know, like, what you've been through this year? And LeBron was just like, it's like talking to your kids. You could tell them how it was to grow up broke, but they don't know because Bronny and them spoiled. They say, get out my face, Dad. So that's not the typical LeBron James response. And then I also noticed they was asking him about what happened in the third quarter. Why this happened. Why was Utah able to get to a lead? LeBron knows that like the back of his head. He has that good memory. He can go possession by possession in a lot of cases. And he just gave the most cliche answer of all. You don't hear a lot from LeBron James because I haven't looked at the film. He's like, I had to look at the film. So he just wasn't interested at all in answering these questions because you could tell his level of frustration because he absolutely does not like to lose. And I'm sure he's frustrated by the makeup of the roster. Myself, I'm still an optimist. I know people think I'm crazy, but I think the Lakers still need to develop chemistry. You just can't come out. All these guys are new. You talking about 9 games and a little bit of preseason. How can you develop chemistry like that? And you still can't do it because you're still missing Thomas Bryant. You're still missing Schroeder. You had Pat Bev in and out of the lineup. You had LeBron miss a game. You had AD miss a game for back soreness. So it's like, where can you begin to develop this continuity? Plus, not only that, the Lakers hadn't had any of those tune-up games when you're playing some lower-tier teams. They've been playing all above 500 teams, all playoff contending teams. They got the Clippers again tonight, yet another playoff contending team. So it's been no break for the Lakers. I know 1 week in December, they're going to play San Antonio 3 times in 1 week. So that might help boost them to a better record, because I think, they don't want to fall too far below 500. But right now, look at Golden State. Look at some of the better teams that you thought are at the bottom right now. Golden State did have a great win the other night when Steph Curry went ham. I think that was against the Sacramento Kings. He dropped 45 points and was able to wield them to victory, but it took a hell of a lot, and they were at home and they barely won that game. So that lets the Lakers know you better be on the lookout. The Kings even looking good. I mean, they got Sabonis, he's playing well. So, I mean, there's no break in the NBA. So it'll be back to action 9 o'clock Pacific, 7 o'clock Central, 8 o'clock Eastern tonight as the Lakers' second part of a doubleheader on ESPN. Tune into it. If you haven't done so already, hit that like, hit that bell, subscribe, turn on those notifications, and let's share this and let's start a movement, like I always said. And peace and much love to everybody I'm down with. And as always, right on to the real, and much love to these haters. I'm out.